What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Look here, man, real quick. Let's talk about the World's Largest Rap Contest, man. The World's Largest Rap Contest.com. I've been forgetting this. Look, got the shirt and everything, man. We gotta start promoting this thing, man. The World's Largest Rap Contest is a dream of mine where I actually help rappers and beat makers. Rappers and beat makers can join. Register if you want to learn how to turn your music into money. I ain't gonna go through as many details as I did the last time. Register. It's free to register. We got groups and different things that you can check out the website and everything and become a VIP recording artist. Yeah, so I got a couple of meetings lined up to talk to some people about what it is Uncle Mike can do to help you get your music out there. It's free to register. It ain't no contract. You'll stay 100% independent. You'll own all your music and everything. I teach you how to copyright your music, how to grow a YouTube channel, how to grow your music. I teach you how to turn your music, into money. Is that fair enough? No contracts. Anyway, check this out, man. The murder that got Brick Baby and Big U, a federal RICO indictment. What? Loose Cannon and Rolling 60s arrested. Loose Cannon is arrested? Here's the thing, man. Loose Cannon had some beef with Big Homie CC. Y'all know who Big Homie CC is. Whack 100 and all them in the mix. And me personally, I figure out who the winner is or figure out who the smartest. How about that? Uncle Mike think the person that's the smartest is the one that don't end up in jail. If you end up in jail, then you ain't smart. Unless that's where you want to go. You probably did something. It's easy to get in jail. It's harder to stay out. Unless you just do all the right things. It's easier to stay out of jail, do all the right things, learn, take your time and learn. See, everybody want to get rich in 3 or 4 days, 1 week. They don't want to take years and years. I've been growing YouTube channels for 5 years and I stayed at it, studied, look, rewind, back up, figure out some stuff. You have to study. You have to love music so much that you're going to study and you're going to make this thing work. I don't have no other option. How we going to make this music work? That's when the work come in. Y'all think that you can be in the studio and, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, dog. This how we do it. And you think money's supposed to what? Fall out the sky? Or people just going to open up their wallets and start giving you money? That's how you think it works? Or the record label's gonna come sign you. I don't know. I'm gonna give my man a thumbs up. Let's get into this video, man. I can do all my own videos and preach to y'all. Y'all way. I used to be in the streets. Yeah. I was scared as I don't know what. Ain't nobody gonna, you can't tell me that you in the streets and you ain't got, your blood ain't pumping a little bit of fear. I'm thinking, they told me Mike Tyson, when he you got a little fear going on. Unless you're a liar, you're an actor. Stop acting and believe in yourself. Stop being anyway. Hey, the World's Largest Rap Contest. Y'all go check the website out, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Damn, that's a 35-minute video. Let's check this bad boy. Yeah.
Really bad. If you haven't heard already, earlier this morning, the Department of Justice announced that Big U, Loose Cannon, and Brick Baby, they've all been charged in a federal complaint alleging racketeering crimes were committed by the Rolling 60s. 19 people total have been arrested and charged in the first federal complaint. Now, this federal complaint is surrounding Big U and Big U Enterprises, and the people you see on the screen are people the feds believe helped Big U commit crimes. Brick Baby is also the subject of another separate sealed indictment that we know nothing about until Brick Baby goes to court and the indictment gets unsealed. So there's a lot of components working here, and I'm gonna try to simplify it as much as possible in this video. This came as a shock to a lot of us, but the people involved like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, they've been expecting this for a very long time. It's been a countdown, to be honest. They've knew that the RICO was coming for some time now. The feds have raided Brick Baby and Loose Cannon's crib. They've had several interactions with the feds. So the feds have been messing with them for a very long time, and they would even admit to such.
Look, outside of that, the feds picked you up 2 times, right? You said the feds have picked you up on numerous occasions, right?
What part?
Lady
what time?
Fino,
Yeah. Okay, so look.
So
that's Loose Cannon. Look, that's Loose Cannon in the black sitting right across from, I guess that's Brick Baby. Yeah, I'm just meeting Brick Baby, so y'all bear with me while I get the 411 on him.
Elaborate, and we're gonna respond to that. Yeah. No. Because at the end of the day, it's like this, right? Because when the same time they came and picked your ass up, right? They came and got Big Useless, right? And then they rolled on me.
Yeah.
So you already know the answer.
I don't know that they wrote on you. I'm telling you. I'm saying
we dealing with this
2 separate times.
Okay,
I hear you.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
You're talking.
No, look
to them.
Okay, so listen.
You can't just say you know.
Okay, so
Loose Cannon and Brick Baby revealed last night that Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Big U all had a run-in with the feds right around the exact same time. Now, Brick Baby house was raided and an AK-47 was found. And Brick Baby picked up a federal gun case at the time. Now, Brick will say that the feds and the state police raided his home. However, the feds didn't really charge him. It's the state police who charged him, but it was a DA reject. But after they raided his crib, Brick Baby will confide in his homie at the time called Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600. And he would tell 600 that he was notified that Big U was being investigated for a federal RICO. And he would tell 600 that the federal RICO was stemming from a hot one out of town. And by hot one, he means a murder that took place out of town.
600, that go back to you. He told you, the feds talked to him and told you what?
You understand? I'm with Brick at this time. I was his savior to bring it back to the hood. He telling me everything that's going on. So I know what's going on with the case and everything other. So he's telling me, man, the feds be on all your videos, bro. They like, man, Lovejoy gives us a tour of the hood every day.
He telling
me. We watch all your videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? Why do I watch my video? Like, whatever. But he's like, yeah, bro. They found the chop. I'm like, okay. So I didn't really think nothing of it because, like I told you, my whole stance with him at that point was he never told before this. So I just assumed that he was in some hot grease and he had whatever he had coming from the legal system. So I never really followed up on till time started going by, like, nigga, what's up with that case? They start going around it. You feel
no, 600. Your first red flag was when he started telling you the feds was telling him about Big U.
Oh,
feds don't go to telling you unless you.
So that's what he telling me. He like, bro, Big U on fire, bro. It's ugly for Cuz. They want Cuz in jail. They got a RICO on him. I'm like, yeah? He like, nah, but you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's a Big U RICO, not a 6-0 RICO. Everybody who he been dealing with. They tied Cuz to a hot one out the way. I'm like, ooh. He said, yeah, it's ugly. I'm like, damn.
That's the thing the family
called. Flacco, you see what we be saying?
Whoa, who's that Flacco guy? I don't know who he is, bro. That's not this guy, bro. Not Flacco. Hey, bro. I don't know nothing. The hot one out of town, aka the murder out of town that they're referring to, is the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams. Rayshawn Williams is the best friend of Big U's son. Rayshawn Williams lives with Big U at some point. Now, Rayshawn Williams was found dead in a ditch with multiple bullet wounds in Vegas in 2021. Late last week, Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600, would actually take to social media to reveal that the family of Rayshawn Williams told him that the police located Big U's DNA under Rayshawn Williams' fingernails.
Man, we got some pretty disturbing news, man, and Y'all remember a couple of days ago when I mentioned that case where the kid, the football player, you know, Big U's son's best friend played on the football team who was living with Big U was killed. And it was saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right? It was just like, damn, bro, like you always say if you know anything about these gang murders to give you the information. But when the football player is the best friend of your son who was living with you turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing, right? So the news came out today, this morning. The mother said that Big U has been denying to give his DNA. So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came back on her son's fingernails.
Wack 100 will follow this up by posting a call between himself and the family of Rayshawn Williams, where they are alerting Wack 100 that the police plan on arresting Big U in late March, early April.
You gotta go pay this conspiracy. Bro,
yeah, they started this DNA test in my brother's nails.
Okay, so that's bad work.
So that means my brother.
Now that's what y'all been hearing. This one ain't nobody heard. Let me find this shit.
Of April.
Hey, they still ain't arrested you, nigga?
Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
She told Wack don't tell nobody, but Wack told the entire internet. Now, Wack's
No, that was after he released the footage and stuff. He said, don't tell nobody. Now that the cat's out of the bag, well, that was still wrong for him to do that. It was still wrong for him to do that because now you got her on tape and everything. So if Big U get out or just don't go down, he gonna look at her differently. Side face, like what you were talking to Wack about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, Wack, I don't think you should have done that. That's just my opinion. Real talk, man. Yeah, I don't think he should have did that.
No, they're going.
He should have edited it before he dropped it.
Going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
She told Wack don't tell nobody, but Wack told the entire internet. Now, Wack's explanation for this is he had to tell the internet because if he didn't, people will look at him a certain way. But right on cue, everything that's been discussed on the internet over the last year and a half surrounding Big U, Big Baby, Rayshawn Williams, and everything in loose cannon, it all came in fruition, even down to the exact arrest date. Right on cue, the feds announced the federal indictment of Big U and 18 other Rolling 60 associates this morning.
Good morning. I'm Joe McNally, the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise, an enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
We will learn several things during this press conference. We will learn that the feds have been looking at the podcast in LA. They've been looking at several LA podcasts, recording, taking down everything. So if you've been speaking on an LA podcast as of lately, bro, over the last 4 years, you are in severe trouble. You in trouble. Now, the feds would also alert that this entire investigation, this entire RICO investigation into Big U and his associates and his business dealings all started with the murder of Rayshawn Williams. When they began to investigate the murder of Rayshawn Williams in 2021, that's when the investigation of Big U and the Rolling 60 started. Now, the feds will officially say that Big U is responsible for the death of Rayshawn Williams, in their opinion.
As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts. All things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing Options, which purports to help at youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement.
Let's run through the murder of Rayshawn Williams and exactly why they're tying Big U to the murder of Rayshawn Williams. Rayshawn was signed to Big U's record label, Unique Music. So on January 20th, 2021, Big U sent Rayshawn Williams to Vegas to record music in a Grammy-nominated studio. He got an Airbnb for Rayshawn Williams, and he paid for the studio time for a week. Rayshawn Williams was to record a bunch of music, and afterwards, Big U would choose which music he can get behind according to the affidavit. But according to the documents, when Rayshawn Williams got to Vegas, he really wasn't taking advantage of being able to record in a Grammy-nominated studio. He will record one day, take the next day off. They won't see him the following day. He come back, and then they don't see him again. So the Grammy-nominated studio, right, one of the employees contacted Big U, and they let Big U know, hey, bruh, you paying for studio time, but homie ain't really coming to record like that.
You know why? Because you think it's a game. You know why? Because y'all think it's all about, this is how we do. It's called work. When you get in the studio, this is your one shot. This is your opportunity, man. You got to go in there and you got to take advantage of this. But you so busy lollygagging and being laid back. I'm out in Las Vegas. I'm chilling. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to be there. You got every excuse not to proceed. Not to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Proceed. Not to go forward. All that, man. Anyway, I went through the same thing, man. I was recording the Braxton Sisters was in my studio recording. The Braxton Sisters, when they had their little group together. And they talking about something. Now, they mother paid for the studio time. Now, what I supposed to tell the mother when she paid for 20 hours of studio time and y'all done went to the mall shop? We gonna go to the mall shopping. No, you not. I need your voices. I need y'all in this studio. I'm trying to prove to the mom that your money is well spent. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all want to go to the mall and do shopping like y'all got time for that. Then they got mad at me because I snitched on them.
So the Grammy-nominated studio, right, one of the employees contacted Big U, and they let Big U know, hey, bruh, you paying for studio time, but homie ain't really coming to record like that. Big U, being really annoyed according to the court documents, hopped in his vehicle with one of his right-hand mans who goes by Robinson.
There you go.
So Big U and Robinson hopped in the car and they drove to Vegas. Big U popped up at Rayshawn Williams' Airbnb at about 2 a.m. on January 24th. When confronted by Big U for being lazy and not recording, Rayshawn Williams would tell Big U that he didn't go to the studio a couple of days because he didn't have a ride to the studio. It's unclear exactly how that discussion went, but it couldn't have went too bad because Big U will still schedule a studio session for 7 p.m. that day, and Rayshawn Williams would join Big U at the studio a couple hours later, around like 9-ish p.m.
Okay.
So Rayshawn Williams and Big U went to the studio, according to the documents, and they recorded records and heard the other records that Rayshawn Williams had recorded, and they left the studio around 12:30 a.m. Officials believe that Big U turned off his phone shortly after leaving the studio with Rayshawn Williams because Big U's phone stopped reporting data shortly after 12:30 a.m. But officials will say they know that Big U drove the vehicle with Rayshawn Williams in it back to the Airbnb because around 1:13 a.m., they arrived at the Airbnb according to the surveillance footage, and Rayshawn Williams got out of the vehicle and went inside and grabbed all of his belongings, despite the fact that Rayshawn Williams' flight wasn't scheduled until the following day, and the Airbnb checkout wasn't scheduled until the following day. So Rayshawn Williams grabbing all of his belongings from out the house was kind of suspicious according to officials, but he grabbed all of his belongings and got back into the vehicle with Big U according to the officials. Per the Airbnb footage, Rayshawn Williams and Big U would drive off together. Big U's phone wouldn't come back on or start pinging information until about 2:15 a.m. A witness at the studio would say that Big U returned back to the studio without Rayshawn Williams at 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, the witness would say that Big U was drenched in sweat, and when they asked Big U what he was doing, he said that he just left the gym. About 6 hours later, Rayshawn Williams' body was found in a ditch near North Vegas at about 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, police believed, or they determined, his death was a manner of a homicide. Investigators believe that between 1:13 a.m. and 2:15 a.m., Big U and Rayshawn Williams drove away from the Airbnb. Big U drove Rayshawn Williams to North Vegas, shot and killed Rayshawn Williams, and dumped his body in a ditch, and then drove back to the studio drenched in sweat. Investigators will say, according to witness testimony, that Big U and Rayshawn Williams had an altercation at the studio before they ultimately left together. And the altercation stemmed from Big U discovering that while Rayshawn Williams was in Vegas, one of the songs that he recorded at that studio was a record that could be interpreted as a Big U diss track. According to officials, they have a witness account of the altercation, but they don't have the footage of the altercation because shortly after Rayshawn's body was found, Big U instructed the studio to delete or remove all equipment that was in the studio the night that the altercation took place, as well as delete all the surveillance footage. So they don't have the footage of the actual altercation, but they have a first-hand account of it. And that's why they're charging Big U with the murder of Rayshawn Williams.
Answered questions when he was down there. They asked him when the last time you saw this person or this person, that person, and he told them, 6 months, a year. Nigga, it's not believable that a human being went that long without washing their hands because your skin get up under his nails. You know, you had to see him, so he kind of himself saying he ain't been around him, but his DNA, but that ain't even the worst. The worst ain't even come out. So I told Six, until it come out, you don't say nothing, it come out, it's in the blog.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Wack.
From my perspective, I don't know about them 6 months. The 6 months is kind of like, bro, if there's eyewitnesses who seen you at the studio that night, it's kind of 6 months is hard to believe, especially if this is somebody who used to live with you. This is somebody who was signed to your label.
Your label?
Not seeing them in 6 months, but they're signed to you is kind of like,
You paid for studio time for them? You went down there to check on the studio time because the studio called you and said that this guy is wasting your money, basically.
I don't know about that one. But in terms of the DNA, there has been some misinformation being spread about Big U's DNA being found under the fingernail of Rayshawn Williams. The truth about that is they did indeed get Big U's DNA, and they did indeed test it. Now, the DNA results came back inconclusive, but we can't exclude him completely, meaning Rayshawn Williams probably had multiple people's DNA under his fingernails, right? He probably had his girl, had his mom, right? So they're saying that we can't completely say Big U's DNA is here, but we can't say it's not either. So it's inconclusive. Investigating this murder and trying to really pin down Big U was the beginning of this entire investigation into Big U Enterprise and the RICO we currently see with the Rolling 60s. Without this murder, this investigation in RICO never happens. But this murder isn't the only charge on this RICO. They're charging Big U, as you guys just heard, and his associates with robbery, fraud, human trafficking. So let's get into some of these charges and really break it down. So let's get into the human trafficking charge.
Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs.
According to officials, Big U utilized this woman right here, Armani Afalaj, who he was also intimate with. He utilized her to transport 304s across state lines often. So she would recruit the women to come to Big U parties when he's chilling with the boys. Now, according to police, one of these interactions was actually captured on wiretap, which is severely underwhelming. When we hear the charge human trafficking, I'm thinking something crazy, right? Like busting down some 304s, bro. I guess it's considered that. The human trafficking dates back to an incident that took place November of 2022, which really highlights how long they've been investigating for. So in November of 2022, Big U paid Afalaj $1,000 to transport 3 women from the Central District of California to Las Vegas to engage in prostitution and other crimes under Nevada law. The feds, being armed with this information, decided not to go to Big U because that's who they want. They decided to go directly to, let's call her by her first name, Armani. So the feds went to Armani and presented her with everything they had. They say, yo, we got the wiretaps, bro. Do you want to be honest with us? And she kept it honest with them. June of 2023, they went to her house and they told her they got the wiretaps, they know everything that happened, and they planned on charging her with sex trafficking if she don't cooperate and speak to them. So she admitted that she promoted prostitution, but she did say that she doesn't think that she's a pimp. She's just known for bringing the hoes around whenever she's asked to bring the hoes around. Now, according to Armani, we call her by her first name now, she told investigators that she provided Big U with women as long as the women were paid. That representation is corroborated by a series of intercepted calls from January 2023 when Armani said she was bringing 7 women to Big U, and after which Big U talked to Armani and others about her being upset when they did not get paid right away. According to Armani, she told her women, cash, charge them before you hit. Cash before smash. So apparently when the women was coming around and they was smashing before getting cash, you know, some of them was getting shorter. You feel me? They wasn't getting the full amount and Armani wasn't having it. So that's on wiretap as well, of them having that conversation of why you not paying my girls the right amount. Here's where the story gets a little crazy. So she talked to the investigators. She let them know, yeah, you know, I provided women for Big U. He paid for it, et cetera, et cetera. So she agreed to meet the investigators at a particular time and date. But the investigators told her, hey, bruh, don't tell Big U we talked to you. You got it? So she agreed, right? And her knowing that she's on wiretap, by the way, right? Because the police is showing her and playing her the wiretap of their conversation and saying, yo, own up to it. And that's why she owned up to it. So knowing she's on wiretap and knowing the investigators told her, don't talk to anybody about this. As soon as they left, I'm talking about that day immediately, there's a wiretap conversation of Big U, Armani, and others on the phone where Armani is telling Big U the feds just came by. The document says, however, after they told her, don't talk to Big U, a wiretap communication between Big U, her, and others showed that after Armani's interview, she met with Big U and other Big U Enterprise associates to discuss her interaction with law enforcement. Those calls started right after the interview with an associate calling Big U, demanding to talk to him immediately about money. On that call, Big U made sure that the caller kept Armani where she was at so that Big U could meet up with her about it. The next day, Big U and Armani talked on the phone about what happened yesterday. Armani never met with the investigators after the conversation with Big U, and she stopped cooperating, right? She refused to cooperate any further, which is why she was arrested and picked up in this RICO. Now, according to wiretaps, Big U was talking to another associate, let him know while on the phone, while on a wiretap, that his lawyer told him that he shouldn't be on the phone. So Big U was well aware. I'm talking about like well aware, like what was going on. So he knew they were investigating him ever since late 2022, early 2023. They're also charging Big U with robberies and a string of extortion that stems anywhere from extorting individual citizens, extorting NBA All-Stars, extorting entertainers, and extorting local businesses.
The RICO charges against Mr. Henley and his associates reflect a pattern of crimes that runs the gambit from extortion to robbery to murder to tax fraud and to human trafficking, all under the umbrella of a well-organized criminal organization led by Mr. Henley. Additionally, Mr. Henley duped the County of Los Angeles by running a nonprofit named Developing Options, which was set up to pull youth out of the gang life and promote anti-gang solutions. Yet Mr. Henley continued to personally orchestrate violent gang activity that impact our communities.
It's at this stage in the indictment we get introduced to Loose Cannon's role and Brick Baby role in this indictment. You see, Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were described as essentially Big U's henchmen. People who were under Big U who committed crimes and robberies on behalf of Big U. And there's several instances that they describe. The first instance would be Big U and Loose Cannon and the dispensary play. So there was a local dispensary paying Big U about $25,000 a month for protection. Now, the dispensary owner got sick and tired of paying it, and he stopped paying it. And when he stopped paying the $25,000 a month, Big U said, according to the officials now, Big U said, okay, you're not going to play no more? Okay, cool. So in retaliation, on July 5th of 2021, a couple of Big U associates, about a dozen plus, they ran up in a dispensary with guns and armed. Now, strategically, they ran up in a dispensary with no mask on, barefaced, because they wanted the victim one to know that we are Big U guys, and this is because you didn't pay Big U that $25,000. And one of the dudes involved, as you guys see right here, Tremaine Williams, was Loose Cannon. They took the belongings of the customers, the owners, anybody that was in the dispensary. They robbed you. It don't matter if you were a customer or an employee.
Wait a minute, y'all, mate. He said Loose Cannon's full name. I'm trying to. Wait a minute, y'all.
This is because you didn't pay Big U that $25,000. And one of the dudes involved, as you guys see right here, Tremaine Williams, was Loose Cannon.
Tremaine Williams' name is Loose Cannon? Is that what he's saying? I don't know his real name, and I'm trying to figure that part out. Okay, Robinson and Williams, both.
They took the belongings of the customers, the owners, anybody that was in the dispensary. They robbed you. It don't matter if you were a customer or an employee, you got robbed. They took the marijuana. They took all the cash from the dispensary. They took it all. Now, here's the part of the story that I found almost unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. All right? If I didn't already hear this story before, I would think it was impossible. So during the robbery, apparently one of the assailants contacted Big U, according to authorities. They put the store owner, the dispensary owner, on the phone with Big U on FaceTime, where Big U is letting him know, hey, bro, I try to warn you, man. I told you to keep paying that $25,000. According to officials, now Flacco, I don't want no smoke.
I don't want no smoke.
The news, people, all right? So after they robbed him, they put the dude on FaceTime with Big U, and Big U essentially said, all right, listen, they taking your stuff to my crib. Come over to my crib, and we can have a conversation about you possibly getting some things back, but we got to reinstate our original agreement. So the victim went to Big U's premises, as you guys see right here, and others were there, including Loose Cannon, according to the victim. Now, Big U told this person, that's how you rob yourself. Then Big U demanded $10,000 from the victim to ensure that other robberies did not occur. Now, according to reports, Big U also directed the victim to identify other businesses or dispensaries that he could similarly rob and assure that the victim, would not get robbed himself, and they will also compensate him from whatever they get. They reinstated the agreement, but it wasn't 25 bands a month as it used to be, because he was no longer at that peak of business So they agreed and settled on a lower amount. But here's the thing. Victim 1 went working with the police, bro. He said, bro, I done had enough, bro. All right. I'm talking. So then he began to cooperate with the police, and they began to scheme up methods to really catch Big U in the act of extortion, which we will get to shortly.
And so basically it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the they get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police. I seen he get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his high tech shit. I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
That's the exact sequence of event that took place with the dispensary. Robbed the dispensary. The person is at the house because they FaceTime Big U allegedly, according to the documents, while at the dispensary. They agreed to meet up at the crib. They meet up at the crib. They give the guy a portion of his money back, told him, hey, bro, you got to get back on the payment plan. According to the document, Loose Cannon admitting to this on No Jumper contributed to him being charged and indicted for it, because the victim been saying Loose Cannon was involved, but there's no video footage of Loose Cannon involved. There's no surveillance of Loose Cannon involved. But Loose Cannon saying this on No Jumper led to the feds indicting him for being involved, because the victim.
Don't say that. Don't say you incriminate. You are so pressed to impress somebody that don't give a F about you, that you are willing to snitch on yourself. What? I'm gangster. I went in there and I did this and I did that. No matter what you say to that person, oh, I'm real. I'm real. You real stupid, because now you got some real problems on your hand. And that No Jumper, he don't care. He doing what he want to do. Y'all know No Jumper is he's a what do you call it? He's a porn star. He proud of it. If you stop acting and be proud of what you are, ain't nobody say nothing. You're a porn star. If you like men and you gay, be proud of it. But we gotta hide undercover and all this bull. And that's where you get in trouble at, because you trying to be something you're not. Handle your business. If you're a robber, be a professional robber. They don't talk about it. They hate what they do. I know big time drug dealers. He said, Uncle Mike, you know how we can tell a real drug dealer from a fake one? I said, how? The real ones don't talk about it. We hate doing this shit, man. We hate it. But they want to talk about it and act like they bragging on, yeah, I'm moving keys, all in the songs and everything. He said, man, I hate what I do. I don't want to go to jail, so I keep my mouth shut. I don't want nobody to say who they getting this drugs and stuff from. I want to keep as much hush-hush. And he showed me his stash. Good God Almighty. Dude, you can smell it when you come in through the doors. You can smell. He invited me down because he wanted to do a little recording studio. So he bought a couple of little toys. He probably spent about $4,000 or $5,000. I thought he was gonna spend $20,000 or $30,000. Yeah, I'm telling on you. But long story short, when we was paying for the equipment and I can still smell it. I said, dude, that smell. I'm scared now. I'm thinking, dude, I can smell that candy, nose boogers, nose candy. I can smell it in your money, in the money he had. And I'm saying to myself, now the dude is on the other side of the counter. He's counting the money, right? He counting the money. And I'm standing on that side of the counter. And so his nose, he counting the money, but he don't have it up like this, counting it. But he's closer. And he's fanning it while he counting it. I know he can smell that daggone coke. I know he can. And I'm nervous. But my man, he ain't phased a bit. Oh, my God. Then he had a nerve to say something about the smell. Yeah, you know, back in the day, somebody came in and their money smelled like drugs. He. I'm like, now we know he know. That's crazy, man.
There's no surveillance of Loose Cannon involved, but
William
Loose Cannon saying
admitted
this on No Jumper led to the feds indicting him for being involved because the victim statement and your statement aligns with exactly what took place. So this is bad. In that same interview, Loose Cannon would break down how they robbed Meek Mill at the instructions of Big U, and they were able to extort $50,000 from Rick Ross, but Big U took all the money and iced them out, and that's how they fell out.
Cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies, but I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because
this
I'm
is high tech shit.
I'm his.
Look at Whack 100 though. Look at Whack 100. It's like, I can't believe this nigga seeing this stuff. Y'all don't know this stuff is being monitored. Y'all don't know that. These people looking up. Yeah. Come on, man. The bottom line is it's about money. Fans want to do their job so they can keep getting that money. Y'all is looking for fame. Y'all looking for fame. I'm looking for money. Y'all looking for fame. I'm looking for money. Uncle Mike looking for money. God dang it, what? And Loose Cannon, you are definitely loose. You loose lips, sink ships, Loose Cannon. You just loose, baby. But I'm down with you. I'm cool with you. I'm just telling you where you making a six at.
He was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because
this
I'm
is
his
high tech shit.
I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right? Because he was gonna make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
And kept you out of it.
Of course. He did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So
the club, when you sweated him in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000 and we're gonna let Meek live on Crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000. And so me and the homies, we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up.
Loose Cannon and Big U's relationship, as it's identified in the document, it's similar to Big U's and Brick Baby's relationship.
Before we get to the relationships, I can't believe how many people have incriminated themselves on YouTube, man. There was another video that I did a long time ago, man. I wish I can pull that thing up, man. How they was bragging on how they robbed this person, how they robbed this hood, this street. You know, they sell they stuff over here. They from this street, so we went over there and we robbed them niggas. We whooped their tail and all this type of stuff. Yeah, that's right. We so and so. We so and so. And I'm like, so they trying to get views and subscribers, so they telling the truth about this real facts, cuz this real facts, this is what we do. And then you got another dude talking about the murder that he did. All this is on there. I'm saying these dudes, they think the police is allergic to YouTube or something? And these lawyers, all you gotta do is, these people got beat up or whatever, they think they live by the street code. Nah, cuz you robbed and took me. I got a lawyer. I done called the police, and I'm showing them the footage that you admitting that you kicked my tail. Golly,
now,
man.
Loose Cannon is indicted for doing robberies on behalf of Big U. Brick Baby is also indicted for doing robberies on behalf of Big U. On November 11th, 2022, Brick Baby and Big U had a conversation that was wiretapped. During that conversation, Brick Baby identified as Mitchell. Big U identified as Henley. Mitchell, Brick Baby, was, having a conversation about how much money Brick Baby should give to Big U in the recent robbery they partaked in. Now, if we scroll down, you will see Big U is talking to another gentleman in a wiretap call, and that conversation goes, they robbed which is Brick Baby, from some ish. They made a ninja call his plug, and then they booked him. So in another wiretap call, Big U was talking to somebody who confirms that Brick Baby made somebody call their plug, and then they robbed the plug. And apparently, Big U only got a portion of the money because they had to split it between 5 to 7 people. And remember the owner of the dispensary that allegedly got robbed by Loose Cannon and Big U? Well, that owner began to cooperate with the feds, right? Began to cooperate with police. And they began to record all his interactions with Big U. When Big U called demanding he bring his weekly payments, when he pulled up to give Big U the weekly payments, all of that got recorded on video. This is one of the dudes I really feel bad for. He was just a legal business owner who opened up a dispensary in the wrong neighborhood that was ran by Big U in the rolling 60s, because you can see here, they agreed, give us $2,000 every Monday, and he had to bring $2,000 every Monday, 8 bands a month. It got to a point where, the agreement didn't even matter, right? According to the document, Big U would call him and be like, hey, bro, I need $3,000, right? I'm trying to get a gift for somebody. And he had to bring the money whenever he was called. And when he don't, well, you see threats right here where it says in the document, Big U told him, do we need to do another takeover like we did before? I think dude was ready to play ball, but once it gets to a point where, you're literally being drained dry, you are being drained so dry that you don't even have enough to live. Like, you don't even have enough to run your business. Like, you essentially have to tell at this point to survive and live and eat. So the dude began to work with the feds, and the feds began to give him money to give to Big U. He's on camera paying Big U $1,000 of his extortion fee, $1,500 of his extortion fee, $1,000. And then it got to a point around 2023 where I guess Big U was sort of understanding the feds were investigating him. So then his homeboy began to accept the money on his behalf. Robinson accepted numerous weekly payments on behalf of Big U, according to the officials. And all of this, by the way, is on camera, including the wiretaps where they're demanding that the victim bring them their money. There's a great deal of extortion claims. And if I cover everything, we'll be here all day. All right, we'll be here all day. But I think it's unfortunate. As of now, Big U is innocent until proven guilty. As of now, Loose Cannon is innocent until proven guilty. As of now, Brick Baby is innocent until proven guilty. Now, I think it's very unfortunate that they find themselves in this situation. And at the end of the day, man, this should be a wake-up call to everybody, bro, that, living a life of on the straight and narrow, bro, is always the best option, bro, right? Because it don't matter how long ago you do crimes, bro, it's always going to come back to bite you. Now, this is part 1 where we address the prostitution, the murder, and the robberies or the extortion. In part 2, we're going to do a deep dive into the fraud claims, like the PPP loan, the grid program, development options. So, we're going to take a deep dive into the wire fraud, the embezzlement and things of that such, because it's so complicated, it's so intricate that it's going to take me about 40 minutes as well. So just to not overextend you, we're going to stop it here, right? But if you're still watching and you like this video, click on this video right here on my screen to find out why Pop the Balloon had to stop their entire show after this creep did this, and why I believe this creep should be arrested for doing this on Pop the Balloon. I'm going to see you guys in this video. And also, too, if part 2 ain't up by the time you watch this video, just check back. I'm going to be dropping part 2 to this video very soon. I'm going to see you guys in these videos, all right?
Man. Hey, I like, Poetic Flacco. Like this dude, man. Hey, most definitely, man. Y'all hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the subscribe button. Go over there and tell him, hey, the Music Be Recording Network sent you. I think we did one of his videos once before, and I liked him. So, boom, my bruh, I just subscribed to your channel and keep putting out this positive content. You're a positive brother. Uncle Mike likes you. Yeah. And you ain't into that drama. They tried to get me into the drama, y'all. That was funny. See, what I do is I know who I am, right? I know who I am. And I know I'm crazy. I'm so crazy, I will make you think that you got me. But you don't. But check this out, man. They cooked. G, you cooked. I'm tell y'all why. I used to work for a law firm. You know, Uncle Mike had about 113,000 jobs. I had 113,000 different jobs. That's right. Counted every last one of them. Now, look. I used to work for a law firm. I was a driver, courier for a law firm. And I was intrigued over this stuff. And this is what the lawyer told me. Just because you say, I'm going to call my lawyer, or just because you got a lawyer, that don't necessarily mean you won. See, a lot of lawyers out here, when they take your case, they know they're going to lose. But they want that money. You're going to lose this case and want this money. Now, in Diddy's case, his lawyers is trying their best to get his butt out of hot water. And he's paying millions of dollars per hour, right? Or something like that. You know, I ain't gonna say million. He's paying, them lawyers is making some goddamn good money. That's why I couldn't understand that the black lawyer dropped down. Big G don't have no money. That's why he out here doing stuff he ain't had no business doing. Loose County ain't got no money. That's why he on them that little dude's podcast. They ain't got no real money. Uncle Mike ain't got no money. So if I got in trouble, how much you say, lawyer? Oh shoot, man. Man, can you give me a discount? Can I pay you in installments? Cause I don't have no money. I ain't got no Diddy money. Diddy, Oprah, all these people, they can afford big dogs that can pay. Look, you can get off like in Scarface. It's gonna cost you a lot of money, but they ain't got no money, so they ain't got no lawyer. They gonna get a lawyer that they can afford, that's gonna that's acting like he's helping them. But when he talks to the other lawyers, he can be like, man, y'all know he cooked. Yeah, man, but I gotta make it look, come on, man, make it look like I'm doing something for him, please. This is the talk from a lawyer. Told me how this stuff go down. Y'all better wake up, man. Uncle Mike know what he talking about. Call my bluff. You think I'm that real? Call my bluff. Call my bluff. I don't give a who you are. I'm talking to the haters now, y'all. I'm talking to the haters without cussing. Shout out to all this, what you call it when you leave? Comments. Shout out to all the comments. Shout out to my Patreons. Shout out to the Patreons. Yeah. Love my Patreon. Y'all showing off over there at the Patreon. Hey, I promise I'm gonna put up some more stuff. Right now, we're on a mission. Nephew's supposed to be coming over. I'm going to cuss him out. Cussing nephew all the way out. So, hey, shout out to the Patreons. Check out the World's Largest Rap Contest.com. If you're trying to get your music out there, you want to get your hustle on in the music business, holla at your boy, Uncle Mike. It's going to show you how to get it done. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.